Okay guys, it's JP from Rocket Science again. I did the first quick start video for our Airbox gold foil thermal protection foil cover, but I was kind of rushing through it because I know a lot of guys don't want to sit through a 25-minute how-to video. So just to complete the process for those of you who want to see a little more of it, I wanted to emphasize one thing that I noticed in the first video that I didn't really emphasize as much as I should. And that's that when we cover up this first ridge here, this rim, the one that had the dots on it, we absolutely did not want the foil to be over that. We wanted to cover up that ridge, but not go over it. If it's a little short of covering up, that's better than going over it. So just wanted to add that little tip, and here's why. Because when you get over to this next step where you've laid this part down, the gutter's very narrow in here, and that if you've laid that too far over the rim, then this gets real hard to poke in there. So that's the reason we want to be real exact on lining up this horn here. So now I'm continuing on around, and I'm just going to get this to lay down in the gutter there, hopefully. As you can see, I cut that a little close myself by trying to be speedy. So we'll see if we can't get that to lay down in there. And it's a little tight there, but we got that in. But you can see there's not a lot of extra room. So if you do get jammed up there, rather than trying to cram it in there, just take your X-Acto knife and go ahead and trim on around there and take it on out. Now, this brings up another issue. Right here, I hope you can see this, there's a couple of little ridges, and there are two there are two on the tip of the horn right here, and there are two right over there. So that's another place where you'll just want to take your X-Acto knife, and on the inside of each one of these ridges, just go down and trim that down. And then I've given you a little rounded pencil shaped tool that'll allow you to lay that down in there, and I'll show you that as we go along. Okay, so I'm going to lay this one, continue this on over there, and we'll do our best to get that down in there as well as we can. There we go. So we're down in there, smooth out our wrinkles. Then we'll take this relief cut here, allows for this contour. So we'll pull that down there. And you're going to have a little bit of wrinkling right at the turn there. There's just no getting around that, but that's okay. And then, actually I should have pulled that over a little bit more. There we go. Lay that down there. Try and get those wrinkles out. There's my little pet frog. Every time I start the video, my pet frog thinks he's got to chime in. Take your little tool, put that down in the gutter, and then if you want to, and I've done this on several of them, take your piece of patching material, and you can put a piece of patch material over there. It looks real nice. Then take this little notch as I showed in the previous video. There goes my alarm. Boy, everything likes to go off once Johnny wants to work. And we'll make that little cut right up there. That little relief cut at each corner, as I showed you in the first video. And then just lay that down, and then roll that over and lay that down into that curve there. And you'll get a little wrinkling on these curves, but it looks nice. Gold looks nice when it's kind of shiny like that. And I'm going a little bit fast, so. And then, because of the alignment being so critical, I needed to leave you a little extra here just in case you were off a little bit. So when you're finished, just take your X-Acto knife, and there's a nice ridge there that'll act as a guide, and just trim that off, and you'll be able to trim it out real nice. Then, as I showed you on the last video, there's a notch here, and that'll be a marker for you to be able to go up to this corner and do your relief cut there. which we'll do right there. But this corner actually is kind of a bit of a compound corner, and as you can see, it's trying to wrinkle up a little bit there. So we're going to make another one right up here. There we go. And we'll lay that one down inside first and smooth that out, wrap it around the corner. Then we'll just continue rolling this one around and down into that channel. There you go. That looks nice. And then on the back side, as I mentioned before, there's another relief cut notch for you. Just take that one and lay it right up there. And then take this one and wrap it around the back like you did this one. And then drop this one down over the back. And start in the center here and work your way out. I'm going a little speedy, so I'm going to have a few extra wrinkles in here, but you can take your time and do a nice job on that. Wrap that around the corner there, and then we'll relieve this ridge as I told you. And then move those wrinkles out of there, like that. And right here is the last little corner, and you can see this little curve coming around here. So make your relief cut right up there to that corner. Lay that down in there, and as you can see, that overlaps there a little bit and gives you your relief. And lay that out, curve it around, and there you go. Now you're all wrapped all the way around, and you're ready to put your back piece on. Now grab that. We'll peel off the back piece. There we go. And you just simply line this up according to the nature of the curve. We're sort of losing the light here a little bit. I hope you can see this okay. There we go. Oh, I missed that just a little bit. There we go. And again, starting in the center and moving out. There you go. And wrap that around the back. Move this one over and wrap it around the front. There's a big contour here, so start in the middle of that contour and roll the wrinkles out and then go around the corner. There we go. And then you can see, as I said, how I've left you some extra material coming around the front, so just use that guide, take your X-Acto knife and roll over there. Now this back side doesn't show, and you're just going to have a lot of wrinkles because there's just a lot of corners and contours and ridges there, but you want it for the performance. So do your best to get that down, and then simply take your X-Acto knife and alongside each one of those ridges, just roll on down there and cut those, and do it on the same side on each one. There you go. And I'm doing this kind of fast. You take your time, you'll do a nice job on this. There we go. There's one more ridge there. And there's one here. Whoops. One on the wrong side of that, but that's okay. And one little one right there. And then take your small popsicle stick and just run down between each one of those, and you'll get that to lay nice and flat in there. And under the gutter there. And go around, get that under the gutter, like that. Then you do the same process for these other points where there's those little ridges, right there, on the horn, and right there. So let's do the one on the horn here. It's the most visible. And what you want to do is press down so you can see them, and then go on the inside of each one of those little ridges. Be sure to cut down all the way through. There you go. Then take your little pencil tool, and that'll press that down real nice in there. And get it nice and tight down in there. All right, and that's the way you deal with these little ridges, all the way from the big ones on the back to the one on the horn, and so on. And then go along and really press this stuff down. If you're in a real cold climate, you can take a hair dryer, and this stuff likes heat up to about 200 degrees, and the guy that invented this stuff told me that it makes it stick like crazy. So if you're in a real cold climate, that's something you might want to consider doing. Since we've been using the acetone, we haven't had any problem with adhesion. As a matter of fact, it's hard as hell to get it off, so that it should be good for most locations. But if you're real cold climate, you might want to try that. So I hope that helps. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the interwebs. Bye-bye.